Welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Vasil Shevchenko, former transportation of Ukraine. Vasil, it's always a pleasure to have you on.
Nice to see you. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Likewise. Now, I have some really crazy news going on there in the Ukraine. So apparently Putin had held illegitimate elections in some of Ukraine's territory. And Secretary of State Antony Blinken described this as nothing more but propaganda. What is President Zelensky saying about this?
First of all, we know that they tried to hold this so-called election campaign, but we know from officials who has more information from occupied territory, and we know that it's fully falsificated actions. And first of all, we know that most of people fled from this territory to Ukraine and abroad. And people who are there, it's as usual, old people and people who didn't have opportunity to leave this territory. And now, just before our conversation, I heard had advisor one from occupied city of Ukraine who commented this situation this way, that Russian soldiers are forcing Ukrainians to put down their so-called election, their choice. And we cannot say that it's election campaign, and it's type of legitimizing their occupation, because you know that just after occupation they decided to make their parliament decision concerning so-called new Russia's territory, and they claimed that 4 Ukrainian regions became Russia's regions. And we know that they didn't manage to capture its territory, and slowly Ukraine forces are pushing them away from this territory. For example, when we speak about the only cities they managed to capture with mercenary groups, and it was Bakhmut, and now is Bakhmut half surrounded Ukraine forces and is under Ukraine forces control. And there are no residents who will be able to vote there. And we know that around all this territory situation is the same, because according to the Ukraine law, election campaign cannot be held at enemy's army, and it's impossible, and Ukraine is going to liberate it soon. And this so-called campaign, so-called elections, it's type to demonstrate in domestic politics campaign that they managed to capture, and to demonstrate that results this campaign for Russians. And I think they will manage to demonstrate it the way they wanted to do it, because we know that Russia Federation has no any independent media, and because of it, all Russia's media, it's propagandist media, and they are shooting all their willing they want, and because of it, they will demonstrate it for Russians. They have received once more victory at Ukraine's territory, but really we know that this election, this so-called election campaign, have nothing to legitimacy and nothing to have any outcome for Ukraine and for Ukraine's society.
Do you think? With more than 250,000 of Russian soldiers already dead, and it was just like yesterday or 2 days ago with 600 soldiers dying in battle. Do you see that this is a big desperation on Putin's side? He need folks to help him. Where are he going to get those from?
I think that they know that there are a lot of people who were drafted to fight in Ukraine have been killed and wounded. And now we can say that every Russians know about this war, and we know that a couple of million Russians fled from Russia just to avoid to be drafted to Russia's army, and we know that Russians looking for any way to leave Russia Federation, and many of them now moved to Central Asia republics, and they live there. Many of them live in Georgia, for example, and it's millions. And most of them knows that it's a real cruel war. And at the same time, they have not opportunity to avoid, and they are following so-called propaganda's opinion that they are going to fight against Ukraine's army, and they are fighting against West, and they are fighting against NATO country. And according to information from their media, they demonstrate slightly really different situation from the world media. For example, you can see in every media results of combat events at the battle line, except Russia Federation, because only Russia Federation media demonstrate that their army is strong and their army is going to capture Ukraine and to defeat Ukraine's army. It's a lie they are spreading among Russians just to demonstrate their power and following their leader's opinion, who lives in parallel reality, which demonstrates that he is booking media's outcome and media's demonstration, his opportunity to fight. And I think just on the eve of election campaign, he need to demonstrate Russians' victories, but he haven't had it, and he tries to create it. And because of it, he is booking and journalists who are involved. We cannot name them journalists because it's propaganda specialists, who's creating parallel reality for their leader and for Russian, and all these channels are and other channels hadn't been closed maybe 10 years ago, and because of it, most of Russians can understand real events in Ukraine around the war and around the world only getting to the to military prison in Ukraine, because we have seen many times when Russian soldiers who were captured at the battle line commenting it this way, that they were surprised that at the battle line Ukraine have opportunity to eliminate their so-called elite military units and elite military units, and that they are limited in ammunition and they are limited in and commanders who's fighting with them at the battle line. As usual, it's type of behavior. They saw it or they studied it from former Russia's military mercenary military group Wagner, and who was according to the official information was killed in a private plane which was shot by Russia's air defense system. But now Ukraine's military secret service haven't confirmed that it was he who died as a result of this catastrophe. But we suspect that it's really this leader, and we know that after this combat events, they decided to move to Moscow just to demonstrate that they are against war in Ukraine and against their leaders. And I think that just after that he was killed in this catastrophe. And because of it, I'd say that they are able to commit really serious damages at the battle line from planes, because they have many planes and planes which are able to hold heavy bombs which can fly for long distance, and Ukraine forces doesn't have opportunity to intercept. But we hope the situation will change soon after Ukraine will have opportunity to use Western F-16 or maybe Gripen aircrafts just to have opportunity to launch missiles for longer distance, just to prevent these opportunities. And now Ukraine's forces haven't managed to break through their so-called defense line, which were building from concrete, and all their so-called southern region of Russia was supplying the concrete, and they were working just to build fortifications at the occupied territory. And now they are not sure that they are able, because from United States Ukraine received type of bombs which allow Ukraine forces to eliminate this Russia's military troops personnel, and because of it, according to the information from the Secret Service, we can hear that they are discussing it at the battle line. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. I want to ask you this question. Most recently, we recognized that Putin went to North Korea to meet with Kim Jong-un pertaining for assistance in his war. Now, who would ever think that Putin will go so low to North Korea for assistance? What do you think is his desperation at this point?
I think it's most important questions, and I'd say that it's if before the intervention in Ukraine's territory, Russia Federation tried to demonstrate that they are developed countries, that they are cutting-edge technologies country, and they have second biggest army in the world, and that they are part of developed world, and as a result of this war, this part of war, we understood that they are in union with North Korea, for example, Iran, for example, and to be honest, I cannot say that now his allies are Central Asia's republic, for example, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Azerbaijan, because they are trying to avoid to be in this team, and only big Russia's ally, it's North Korea, and it happened because of lack of rounds, and they don't have enough charges for their artillery, and we know that North Korea has a lot of this type of rounds, and they will consult concerning providing Russia's army by North Korea industry. And I saw information that their current leader is going to visit, and that they are going to have negotiation, but it will demonstrate world society who's their partners. And we know that today's information from Great 20th country, they didn't visit it, and their partners from China didn't visit, and there was accepted decision concerning condemning Russia's behavior with the grain deal, for example, and demand to renew Green Deal, because we know that Ukraine's big producer of food around the world, and thanks our partners and this grain deal, we managed to lower prices for food for 25% since the last spring, and after 2022 autumn, because of opportunity to transport it. And now we know that they are bombing the new Brewer port infrastructure, trying to eliminate stockpiles and to eliminate infrastructure, different ports operators. But since the morning in Black Sea, in this region, will start military drilling NATO countries, including United States, representative Great Britain, Romania, and it will demonstrate answer, because now we have opportunity to transport it grains through territorial water, this neighbors countries, and these routes have gone 3 ships. And I think it will work, and we will be able to promote it and to work effectively.
Do you see anytime soon in the nearest future that Putin will say, look, this is enough. Let me leave Ukraine alone. Do you see that do you think that may be something he may have concluded since he is losing the war? Or do you believe that he had put so much time and energy and resources behind this war that this war could drag on for a long time? Which one you think?
I don't believe that he will stop this war without serious pressure. First of all, it can be his army defeats at the battle line, for example, and it can be economical pressure because first of all they decided to shell Ukraine seaports, but as a result Lloyd insurance company department issued decision about additional payments for war risks in Black Sea. And this new insurance prices will influence for Russia's export, Russia's grain export and Russia's oil export, because we know that they depends on supplying abroad natural materials, root materials, and they depends on their opportunity to route. And for transporting oil, they managed to build so-called Great Fleet, but this Great Fleet has no insurance from insurance company, and they face that they must cooperate with main carriers, and main carriers demand from them so-called keep prices, which limits prices for Russia's oil. And it appears that their grey fleet are not able to transport through Suez Strait. And it appeared that China and India, who were biggest buyers the Russia's oil, switched on the cooperation with Iran. And now Russia's oil is limited higher prices for shipping and higher prices for insurance, and it's Russia who triggered it, and it's they who started shelling Ukrainian forces, and to answer, Ukraine forces launched drones, and drones managed to eliminate their tanker. And as a result of it, worldwide was confirmed the threat for transport routes, for shipping, and these prices became higher. And I think that this second reason why he is able to stop war, because his interest not to withdraw troops. Just remember, year or maybe half year ago, we discussed about their offenses, and we were building fortification from our side, and we were ready to defeat. And after that, maybe 5 months ago, situation changed, and Ukraine forces now in in our offensive operation from different regions. And now as Russians looking for the way to consult with Ukraine's authorities and to discuss how to sign peace agreement. And we know that peace agreements will give them time to have opportunity to gain power and to storm Ukraine's territory again. And because of it, without withdrawing troops, Russia Federation from Ukraine's territory, we cannot start any negotiations with the Russia Federation, because their interest, they are trying to spread it among United Nations, for example, through Green Deal, through negotiations from their mediator from different countries, and all these negotiations is threat for Ukraine, because we know that we will not be able to defeat them later when they have opportunity and sanctions against Russia Federation is cancelled. And thanks our big friends, thanks every Americans. I wanted to say that United States envoy visited Ukraine, and he had a lot of negotiations with president, government officials, and we know that we are together, and we were ready to cooperate in different spheres, because we were asked about